This is the MTPredictor weekly market update for July 15th. Well, here's our S&P. Here we've been obviously tracking this. This is the daily chart. A little backdrop now. We're at earnings season underway here. Last week I said expect what's typical is we'll get selling early in earnings season, and then things tend to reverse as the earnings come out. This particular day, well, let's kind of backtrack here. We had our 5-wave pattern down here. If I put the Elliott wave analysis on, you can see the pattern. That's why we were expecting the market to rally here. We had a major buy signal, high volume spike here, telling us that professional buyers were stepping in here. Expected to get a correction back to this wave 4 DP, which we did, and then we talked about this area being a critical area. That if they take this area out to the upside, then we'll take our decision point off of the top of wave 1 here. That tells us we could see that just above 1430 in the S&P if this area gets taken out to the upside. If they can't take this area out to the upside, then the trend, which was down prior, should continue down. Well, we had a sell signal come in here. This was on the 5th. I can put the analysis on there. If you are short this, again, it's the daily chart, so you move your stop once this 100% initial risk line is achieved. You move your stop to your entry there at 1356.75, and you're in a risk-free trade. We talked about the bigger picture on the weekly chart where I'm favoring the upside, and while I expect this to turn as earnings season unfolds, this candle kind of was the and this is another aspect of what kind of environment we're in here. So they had, in a sense, bad news out of China that their economic growth was slowing. And what did the market do? The market rallied big. Well, why is that? Well, because any time now on any kind of economic weakness, there's the feeling that these central banks will step in and kind of save the day. And this is what happened here with that news. So bad economic news can be good for the market, and that's kind of what we had there on Friday. And also, it all favors the bigger picture as we look at, why I'm feeling that the tendency is going to be towards the upside overall here is just because if we go to the weekly chart, and I showed you this, several weeks, if I put the wave pattern on the weekly chart here, we're in wave 4 support here. Nice blue buyers candle telling us the buyers are overcoming the sellers in this support area. And so we are heading out of this wave 4 area. Again, we'll project up wave 5 using the tools and the software, which is very nice. This is the MTPredictor add-ons for NinjaTrader 7. And so eventually I do think we've come close already, but I think we will get into this minimum wave 5 resistance area in the ES, and that's going to start, I guess around I'll call it 1390, 1389 to 1390 area is the beginning of that resistance. And then we'll have, of course, typical wave 5 would be above that, but we'll deal with the minimum wave 5 if we get there first, and then see how the market reacts in that area. You'll have some overlapping resistance in between there. If I take a decision point off of wave 3, that will begin, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get into that area around 1433, 1433.50. Right, so that's kind of the bigger picture why I'm favoring the upside. Again, anything you get into, just make sure you manage the risk, have the proper reward side of your equation. For instance, if you wanted to be a buyer off the weekly chart in wave 4, probably not enough risk reward here to the target to set up anything here. Maybe back here was a good idea heading into a potential wave 3, or even if you're looking at this as an ABC pattern, always check the reward side of the equation, make sure it's worth the initial risk. Let's just pop over to the Dow and just see the similar pattern here on the weekly chart. In the wave 4, project up the wave 5 here. So it's always good when these markets are kind of in sync, if you will. Okay, there's your wave 5 target again, not too far away, right around, we'll call it 13,025, just above 13,000, which is a nice round number in the Dow, which should act as resistance anyway if we get there. And then the overlapping this decision point off of the wave 3 here is sitting, if I can get my mouse on that, around 13,375. So those are a couple of areas to the upside. If we get into those areas, again, we can expect we could get corrections back to the wave 4 DP in the weekly chart, take it down to back down 11,800 if we get up into that area. But we'll have to look at the daily chart first, because the next major support areas will come in first into play on the daily charts. All right, let's take a look at the some of the other markets here. Here is the Euro US dollar on the daily chart. See, coming out of a short signal there. Market has found some more support if I take a decision point off of this prior swing low here. So we've got some divergence. We've got a lower low in price, a higher low in the oscillator there. We've got decision point support here. We can check the Elliott wave pattern. Right, there is a 5-wave pattern down here. So it's possible we could get a rally in the euro back to the wave 4 DP. But I'm a little skeptical. We'll see if they can take this decision point area out to the downside. Let's just look at the weekly chart here. We got, let's see, this candle just barely closed, but this one did close below the support, this major support area here. If they can take out the low in the Euro US dollar, I think that's 21.61. They can take that out to the downside, then we may see more downside. The reason I'm looking for more potential downside, it may not come immediately, but if we look at the US dollar here, dollar index on the weekly chart, again, this is probably repetitive for a lot of you, but this I looked at as a major low in the dollar. Nice high volume spike telling us that professional buying was stepping in here. I told you, I remember Jim Rogers, this was the area that he was buying. Not that he's a great market timer, but he was buying because everybody else was selling, so he was expecting this thing to rally. And of course, MTPredictor was telling us that we should have a bottom in here, and what we were looking for is this last swing into the low in the dollar. We take our decision point off of that, and that gives us, that's why I had this area highlighted here, a target for this rally. If I put the in fact, if I put the analysis on the weekly chart, the software knows that's the target there. Okay, so it's at 85.19 in the dollar, and I think eventually that's where we're going to get, and I've been saying that for a while, and it's been a while for the, but again, this is the bigger picture, weekly time frame, so these things take time to play out. But anyway, that's the area I'm looking for there in the dollar. Let's take a look at oil. This is the weekly chart of oil. We kind of had this double bottom come in here, and so we were expecting to get a bit of a rally here in oil, at least into that area, which we did. If we go down to the daily chart, actually want to look at this. What we're looking at, it was, put the analysis on here. At this point, these were all wave 3 targets that oil was hitting to the downside. So I just projected, if I clear that off, if I just projected wave 4 to the upside, this is why I was expecting the rally into this area at least, which is what we got. That's why I had this area highlighted here. So we tagged that area, it came off of it. Alright, it looks like we'll see if they retest that area. We can project wave 5 down. Alright, so these are the targets to the downside, but we'll have to see if they can take this wave 4 area out to the upside. Obviously that would change the picture, so not real clear here on where we're going to go in oil. Again, I can take a peek at the weekly chart again. Because of this double bottom, we'll have to see if they continue to push this resistance area. All right, we'll watch that. Just a note, the weekly STF has strength to the downside here, so we'll have to see if this pullback is shallow enough where they don't take this wave 4 area out and then roll over again and get that more downside, which would be wave 5 on the daily chart. So we'll watch that. And then let's look at gold. Again, this is the weekly chart. Gold's still in this kind of pattern here, which is kind of flattened out. If we go back again, here's your 50 period moving average. That's why I had these on the chart. The 200 period, the blue line here at the bottom. These are your major buying opportunities in gold, going back the last 10 years or so. Again, with the MTPredictor, had some very nice signals here. Whoops, I got to put some more data on the chart here so we can go back. Let's just go back to, in fact, what I want to do is let's use the continuous contract. And let's go back. Let's see if we can go back to 2001. This was the crash of '08. Again, major buying opportunity where anytime that gold on this weekly chart has come below the 50 period but above the 200 period, these have been major seen as major buying opportunities in gold over the last 10 years. You can see these are all good below the 50 period, above the 200 period. Nice TS3 there. Again, all these opportunities going back, here's basically 9/11, and that was kind of the start of the bull market in gold. So again, going forward now, you can see all those opportunities, and where we are currently. This is why, like I said, I have no professionals that have been buying in here, but we'll have to see, if what happened here is always possible. We get a stock market crash or something, gold follows. It doesn't always have to follow, but if it does, watch that weekly 200 period. Again, another potential major buying opportunity. If we look at silver, silver tends to follow gold overall, but the pattern in silver, here's silver's finding support again in this $26 area here. But because we had a major top here, at least a recent major top when silver was pushing 50, this could be wave 1 and wave 2, and we can project, just put this wave 2 on here, wave 2 or B, and I can project down wave 3. And this is why it's possible. I don't put a lot of weight on it, but it's possible. If gold does go down to its weekly 200 period, then we probably would see this wave 3 target, which would be about $15 in silver, which again I think would be a very good buying opportunity if you are, 2 to 10 years out type of play, an accumulation, if you will. So it's possible. I don't put a lot of weight on it because silver again it's a much thinner market, smaller market than gold, and so gold is at support here, and it's keeping silver in this area as well. But this is a possibility, so we'll keep an eye on it. I think that's all we'll do this week. As far as economic data to watch, nothing earth-shattering other than your regular economic data. Friday, I think there's no data, so be careful trading on Friday with no economic data to kind of move things. At least after the be careful trading after the first hour or so. All right, we'll wrap it up there. We'll come back and take a look at these markets again next week. Enjoy your trading week, and see you back then.